What's up, rock stars? Coach Betty Rocker here. Welcome to day one of the Sleigh Bells Challenge. We are going to slay this workout. We're starting with a legs and booty shred. And all you'll need for this workout is some space to move, an elevated surface like a bench or couch, chair, anything around your house, and some assorted weighted objects. We've got a super fun ladder circuit to do. And once you finish today's workout, you will have completed day one of the challenge and be a step ahead. And you can complete the challenge by joining us in Rock Your Life. So look for that link and let's get started with this awesome workout. We're gonna start it out with box jumps. So whatever height your surface is, go ahead and come in front of that. A great alternative for box jumps is broad jumps where you're jumping across your space. So that's one alternative. A low impact alternative is to step up and drive a knee. I'm gonna start that timer right now and we'll go ahead and jump right up, step it down, or of course you can jump it down. See how you're feeling. We're not here for very long, just 30 seconds as we're getting into this. Remember, if you want to take a lower impact version, you can step up, drive a knee, and then step down. Those of you who are feeling feisty right now, feel free to jump up and jump down. But we've got quite a few rounds of these box jumps to do today. So remember to pace yourself. Give me 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Way to start it off strong. Now we're moving into our second move, which is a reverse curtsy lunge. And if it helps you at all to have something to hold on to, you certainly can. You may want to hold something in your hand as you step back and then step forward. We're going to do about 8 to 12 reps on each side. You can also hold a dumbbell in both hands if you don't need any balancing assistance. We're going to start rolling our shoulders back and down in their sockets, bracing that core. We're stepping the knee back behind the opposite heel. If this bothers you at all, feel free to take a regular reverse lunge. And if that still doesn't feel very good, try out holding on to something in front of you like the back of a chair, a wall. Hold one dumbbell and see if you can't get a little bit more aligned that way by having that support. Now, when you get to the top of your rep range on that first side, go ahead and switch to the other side. Just go for as many reps as you can comfortably do in that 8 to 12 rep range. And don't feel like you have to really push yourself to the bottom of the rep range with this. We're gonna do these moves a few times today. So give yourself an even number of reps on both sides. Keep it fun and festive today. You don't have to break any records. We're gonna bend our knees to safely set down our weighted objects when you get to the top of your rep range and you have evened it out on both sides. And here's where we're gonna start the ladder. We're gonna go back down the ladder to the first move. We're gonna do another 30 seconds of box jumps. No need to rush. Finish up your reverse curtsies strong and maybe have some water, have some Rock and Restore aminos, have whatever you're drinking. I'm very much enjoying the berry lemonade flavor. So good for our Rock and Restore. Whew. When you're ready, we're gonna set up and do our box jumps, broad jumps or step ups with a knee drive. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Land lightly as you come up. Keep your core engaged. Pay attention to your knee alignment. I feel like I almost leap up in a crouch, and then I want you to fully extend your hips at the top. You're already halfway done. Great job. So strong. Come on. Last 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great work. Like I said, you're gonna see those again and again because we're going down the ladder each time. Now we're gonna go up the ladder to our next move, which is sumo squat. So we're gonna do the sumo squats, then we'll go back to the reverse curtsy, then back to the box jumps. So, sumo squats, 8 to 12 rep range. Feel free to work within that, whatever feels good. You've only got 3 sets of these, so I invite you to push it with this one. Choose an amount of resistance that you feel will challenge you in that 8 to 12 rep range. Safely pick up your weighted objects from the floor. I like to bend my knees coming into a kneeling position to pick them up. Now for sumo squat, we step our feet out wider than hip distance, toes duck out slightly, totally natural. Brace through your core, and then send your hips back, knees track in alignment with toes, and then come up powerfully. Keep that core braced. And if you're unsure of your form or position, you could always tap yourself down to an elevated surface to align your body. Just work on not bending forward at the waist. We all have different body mechanics, different lengths of our torsos to leg lengths. So it's okay if you look a little different than me, but I want you to really focus on bracing that core, keeping a straight back regardless of the lean angle, and not deliberately bending forward or rounding your back. Go as deep as you can comfortably go in your squat. Keep that core braced. Don't let your knees travel past your toes. You've got this. And when you get to the top of your rep range where you can't comfortably do any more reps with good form, I want you to set aside your weighted objects. I like to come down into that kneeling lunge to keep the weights in close to my body as I set down my weights. We're gonna take a quick breather and go back down our ladder, back to our reverse curtsy lunges for our next round of them. And as we catch our breath in between our moves, I just am thinking about, why did I show up today? Why am I training at all? It really helps me to tune into my why. As I'm working through any training program, it really helps me remember what I want to get out of these exercises. And for me, it always comes down to thinking about myself as an older woman, being capable and strong. And I know that every single workout I do, every single decision I make about my health right now, it adds like deposits to my savings account for my health that I'll be able to withdraw from as I go through time. So think about why you show up too as you work through these workouts, and just infuse yourself with the confidence of knowing that you're here and it matters, and I'm so glad you're sharing this with me. So when you're ready and you feel recovered, let's go ahead and choose our resistance amount to go back down our ladder, back into our next set of reverse curtsy lunges. Go ahead and get your weights up on your shoulders or hold them at your sides. Brace your core, and we are stepping it back and then coming back to the start position. So that knee travels behind the front heel. We're gonna even it out once again and keep that core braced. Keep that chest up, keep those shoulders back. I notice mine wanna round forward, but I'm deliberately putting them where they belong and having a nice straight back as I go. One trick that always helps me with any type of lunge is imagining I'm wearing a crown on my head and I'm not gonna let it fall off. So picture that crown, and what I'm saying is that if you were bending forward, that crown would fall right to the floor. When you get to the top of your rep range on your first side, switch it out, and we'll go to the other side. Great job. Count your reps, and it doesn't matter if your weights are at your side or up on your shoulders. You've got this. Woo! I'm staying light through my front toes to make sure that I'm not coming up onto my toes in my lunge. Great work, Rockstars. When you get to the top of that rep range, safely set down your weighted objects once again. Keep breathing. And when you are ready, give yourself a little break. We're gonna go back down the ladder to our box jumps, round 3. Woo, feeling it. Totally feeling this. All right, catch your breath. Feel free to do stretches in between any of your moves in case you're like, it's taking too long to get to the next move. Just pace yourself. You'll get a better result when you're ready to push hard in the next move that you do. And our next move is a doozy. It's the box jump, and I need all of my breath for that. So I'm recovering, and I'm gonna get that timer started in 3, 2, 1. Let's do this. Power it up, fully extend your hips. Power it up, fully extend. Yes, you can absolutely jump it up and jump it down, or you can jump it up and step it down. As your body warms and even more, you may want to explore more challenging options. Just be very respectful of your body by landing lightly. And if you feel anything that isn't right, stop and change the variation. Quick breather. You hit the top of that rep range. If you did a couple bonus moves, you're just a bonus person. You're slaying it. Great job. Come on. We got this. We're going to go up the ladder to move number 4, which is a hip thrust. So this is one where we'll need that elevated surface. And I'm going to balance against the side of my bench here. So hip thrusts, amazing for glute development. And we're going to make this move even more challenging today by doing it on a single side at a time. So find some weighted objects that you'd like to explore an 8 to 12 rep range with this move on each leg. And you can always change that weight. You're not locked in, but grab something that you feel might give you a good amount of resistance and put that weight right by your hip creases. Now you can use a single weight if you like, or you can use 2. And I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 in my hip creases, and I will need to sort of hold them because they are in a spot that's easy to lose. Now once I've got them there, I'm gonna brace my back against my bench and lift myself up into reverse tabletop. It might be helpful to do a couple with both feet on the floor just to find your position, make sure your feet are out in the right place where when you come up you're at a 90-degree bend and you're not back so close to your glutes that you strain your knee. I'm going to extend through my left leg, lower the glutes down, and then powerfully come up, lower down again, press up. And here's where you might want to adjust the amount of resistance you've chosen if it's a little bit much or maybe it's not enough. Feel free to play around with that. Work towards that 8 to 12 rep range where it's really tough to go past 12 reps, but you can do at least 8. And hey, if you're in a different rep range, that's all good. I just want you to go to your fatigue point. Keep up the great work. So strong. And when you get to the top of your rep range on that first side, you can switch and do an even number of reps on the opposite side. One thing I want to mention is that as we've got a single leg lifted, it can be easy to let our pelvis rotate slightly. But I want you to really focus on keeping your pelvic bowl very square, facing the ceiling, and not letting it roll open on the side of your straight leg. Even out those reps. You're doing great, rock stars. Come on. Lift and squeeze. Lift and squeeze. When you even it out and you've got the same number on both sides, set aside those weighted objects and we'll move them out of the way because we are going back down our ladder to our sumo squats after you have a nice little breather from those hip thrusts. Amazing job. I know these moves are tough, they're high volume, but they're really giving us just an amazing overall strength building, sculpting for our glutes and our legs. You've got this, rock stars. Think about why. I love thinking about my why, especially when I'm like getting to the top of my rep range. I'm like, I just want to stop early. No, I'm going to keep pushing for it. I'm not going to give up. When you feel ready, and you can always pause the video if you need just a little more recovery time. We'll move into our sumo squats, and this is our second time doing them. So, maybe you want to calibrate how much resistance is right for you in that 8 to 12 rep range. Maybe it's a little more than the last set. Maybe it's the same. It's all good. Just pick the weighted objects up safely if you're using dumbbells. If you've got a barbell and you're picking the weight up off a rack, you can just come under your bar. We're going to step our feet out wider than hip distance once again, engaging our core, so feeling as if we were going to be braced for a punch, right? And that's going to take the curve out of our back and put us in that nice neutral, or what I call blueberry spine. When you're ready, send the hips back, bend the knees, powerfully drive up. Now, if you happen to not have weights that are heavy enough to really challenge you, you can add a pause at the base of your squat, like 1001, 1002, 1003 as an option. That's gonna make it that much harder as you come back up and as you come back down. You're just gonna fatigue the muscles even more. So feel free to take that option. If you wanna make lighter weights feel heavier, totally optional. You don't have to do this at all. I just wanted to give you some fun variations so you can really feel challenged in this workout and get the most out of it. Great job. So strong. As you're working towards the top of your rep range, just remember that it might look different than mine. You might finish before me. You might finish after me. After all, we're both going to where we feel that we can't do more reps with good form. So listen to your body and hang in there. When you do get to that point, safely set those weighted objects down. If you're putting them down on the floor, keeping them in close to your body to protect your back. Take a breather, and we're moving back into our reverse curtsy lunge. Now remember, at the beginning of this, I told you, you don't have to push hard for a low end of a rep range with the reverse curtsies. And that's because we're doing multiple sets of them. And so it's okay if you're in a higher rep range for this move. Your weight doesn't have to be super heavy. I just want you to continually practice this. It's a really good idea to learn how to calibrate different amounts of weight to support you in different types of workouts. So grab whatever weighted objects you're comfortable with here for this reverse curtsy, or maybe you're doing a regular reverse lunge, straight back without the curtsy, shoulders back and down in their sockets, core is braced. We're gonna step it back behind the leading heel and lower down with control. Come back to the start position and reset to continue. Great work, rock stars. You got this. Count your reps so that you can even them out on both sides. And there is a lot of balance involved in this move. I recognize that. That's why I highly encourage you to hold one weight and hold your other hand against the wall or back of a chair if you're working on your form. It's so much more important to have good form with these types of moves than it is to show how much resistance you can use. It's so crucial to line our joints up correctly and have that great form and alignment in our bodies over time as we go through it, right? It's gonna really help us stay protected. Now, I did more reps on that side than 12, and that's okay with me. I was just listening to my body, and I'm gonna even it out on the other side. Your rep range may look different. If you happen to be waiting for me, do some stretching. And remember that self-care is another part of your workout routine that, especially in this season, is gonna take you far. It's gonna take care of you. It's a great habit to work on building intentionally, because as we go through time, we lose some of our body's natural collagen and elastin that helps us have that pliability and flexibility around our joints. So self-care and stretching becomes especially beneficial to us, and we don't want to skip it. So keep up the great work. When you get to the top and you've evened out your reps on both sides, safely set down your equipment, moving it out of your way. Take a quick breather, and guess what's next? Box jumps. We've got 30 seconds of box jumps to do. Let's see, this would be 1, 2, 3. I think this might be our 4th or 5th round of these super fun moves. So pace yourself. Remember, you can do broad jumps. You can do low impact step ups to knee drives. Don't rush. I'm gonna start that timer now. Here we go. Power it up. Fully extend the hips. If you're jumping up to on your box, if you're broad jumping across your space, land lightly. Keep your core braced. You don't have to go super fast on these. My goal is to just get you through a lot of sets of them today. So strong. Come on. So powerful. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful work. That wasn't so bad, was it? Great work. You're slaying this. Whew. We're going to the very top rung of our ladder now, and then we're going to work all the way back down it. So Here's a move that combines a couple of moves together, and I'm gonna demo it while I'm catching my breath without any resistance at all, because I find it very challenging even just with my own body weight. We're gonna come into a squat, and then we're gonna pivot our feet, coming into a lunge. Up, squat, pivot, lunge. Up, squat, pivot, lunge. Why don't you practice it with me right now with your own body weight? Feel free to hold on to something beside you. Maybe you even have a chair in front of you. And we're just seeing how that feels. I do have a wide stance with my squat. This is going to require a lot of core engagement to help you stay back. If you feel like this is easy, feel free to grab some weighted objects for extra resistance. I'm going to do this with my own body weight, and I'm going to time us. So I'm going to give you a full minute to explore it. Feel free to stop at any point. I probably will, but I'm going to give you the full minute to play around with the lunge, squat, lunge. If you're using weight, I would stop yourself well before that time. See how you're feeling. We're going to start in our sumo stance position. Once again, brace that core. Shoulders come back and down in their sockets. Let's begin. Squat, pivot, lunge. Squat, pivot, lunge. Very important that we keep everything lined up. We're basically putting all the things together that we've been working on with the deliberate sumo squat, with the lunge. So knees are lined up over our ankles. And like I said, this takes a lot of core stability to keep you upright and not pitching forward. Nice. I'm starting to feel that burn. Of course, we're at the halfway into the full minute mark, so feel free to just know that whatever else you do from here is a bonus. And if you're a bonus person, like we were talking about, I get it. You're doing amazing. Thanks for showing up today. That says a lot about you. I know this is a very busy time of year, and it's pretty epic to be taking on a challenge right now. Bravo. Last 3, 2, last 1. Oh my gosh. Even without the resistance, I totally felt that. Now, I have mentioned that this is a 14-day challenge, and it gives you the space if you want to repeat it at all. Maybe you just want to do this first week a second time. Maybe you want to do the whole thing twice. If you have that spaciousness in the month of December, you're welcome to do that. And if you do this again, you might want to add some extra resistance when you come back and see this workout again. Totally up to you. Just giving you options. We are going to work down our ladder now, going into our single leg hip thrusts. So grab some weighted objects and just take a cue from what you did that first time we did the single leg hip thrusts. How did the amount of resistance you chose that time feel for you? Do you want to add a little bit more? Was it just right? Or was it even a little too much? You are in charge. You can control this. Set yourself up for success by placing 1 or 2 weights in your hip creases. Bend your knees, press your back into your elevated surface to lift yourself up into a strong reverse tabletop position. See that the knees aren't bent at an awkward angle. We want them at a nice straight 90-degree bend. And you might want to do a couple with both feet on the ground to just remind yourself of your form. Extend your left leg. And let's start our single side hip thrusts on the right leg. Right leg is working, lowering the hips, and then pressing all the way back up, squeezing the glutes. They have no choice but to work. You got this. Such an amazing move. So strong, rock stars. And at any point, if it just feels unstable or like it's too much, put both feet down and complete the set with both feet. There is no challenge that you can't handle. And one of the things in life I find that's sometimes the most challenging is to simply adjust to where we find ourselves and be adaptable in our course. And with workouts, there's no precise way that's perfect for every individual, especially when I'm demoing something. You might want to take a variation that might be just the right thing for you today that enables you to continue forward without, discomfort. So listen to your body first and foremost. Do what's right for you. Know that I'm proud of you for being here, for doing your workout, for doing your reps, not doing my workout, not doing my reps. I gotta like take care of me, you gotta take care of you, and we're all in this together. So let's go. When you get to the top of your rep range on your second side and you've evened out your reps, you can set aside those weighted objects. Give yourself a breather. Do you remember what the next move is? It is sumo squats. And this is our third round. So maybe you want to think about, what did I use last time? Did that feel challenging for me? That's all I've got. That's the heaviest I've got. Well, you can add the pause at the base, or I'll show you the pulse as well this round. And if your weights are certainly heavy enough for you, well, then you can just continue as you are and really work those reps. I'm catching my breath here. I'm just taking a breather, listening to my body so that I don't miss out on the volume of the reps that I'm gonna do in my next set by going into it too early without being recovered. So you can always take a little more recovery. And here's another thing where we're all a little different, right? You might need a little more recovery some days than others. And that can be due to a variety of factors: stress levels, sleep disturbance, where you're at in your cycle. All different kinds of things can impact how much recovery you need. But what do we always say? Listen to your body. We're gonna do those sumo squats. When you're ready, grab those weighted objects safely, bend the knees to pick them up, get them up on your shoulders, step your feet out nice and wide, brace through that core, send the hips back. Option to add some pulses at the base, or even a pause like I showed you in the last set, or simply rep them out. What I want is that you have a straight back, you have a braced core, your head and neck follow your body, so you have a nice straight line between your sacrum all the way up to your head. Great. Your line, the line of your body is gonna angle differently, but there's not gonna be a break in that line. It's gonna be a straight line. So that means we don't have a rounded upper back, we don't have a arch in our lower back. We brace through that core. Keep breathing. I'm feeling myself sweating. Nice job. Remember, you can always use a bench or a stool behind you to tap your glutes down to make sure you've got the right form. When you get to the top of your rep range, which might be before or after me, I want you to safely set aside those weighted objects. Great job. Take a breather. We'll move into our last set of reverse curtsy lunges. Once again, being conservative with the amount of resistance we're using for this particular move, because we did it quite a few times and we don't need to go super heavy for this to be effective. You got this. Catch your breath. Recover, feel free to stretch, pause the video as needed, and when you're ready to move on, grab your weighted objects, stand tall. I'll start with my right foot this time, and it really doesn't matter which side you're starting with. We're gonna even it out on both sides regardless, so step it back when you're ready to go. Count your reps, really work on keeping your body nice and upright, your shoulders back, your core braced. And of course, if you're here in Rock Your Life, you have access to the entire Foundations of Functional Fitness course. So if you want to brush up on your squat form, lunge form, any of the big key lifts, watch the intro to the rotator cuff, pushing and pulling foundations. Those are all accessible for you in the workshops area. So definitely feel free to get some additional support. Count your reps here so that you can even it out and switch when you're ready. Nice work. Hang in there. You are almost through this workout. You are slaying it, Bells. Come on. You got it. Stay light through those toes. Remember, you can put your weights up on your shoulders or have them at your sides. Just don't let your shoulders creep forward. If you've got them up on your shoulders, remember, your hands should be resting on your shoulders. You shouldn't be holding the weights up above your shoulders. You want to protect yourself here. When you get to the top of that rep range and you've evened out your lunges, bend your knees to set down your weighted objects. We have one last rung of that ladder to finish. It is our box jumps. It's only 30 seconds. You're gonna rock this, finish this workout so strong, I know it. Catch your breath from your lunges. And When you're ready, here we go. Power it up and bring it right back down. Power it up, bring it right back down. You got this. Come on. So strong. Remember, you can jump up, jump down. You can jump up, step down. You're more than halfway through. Last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yes! Amazing work. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to continuing this amazing challenge with you so we can slay the rest of this month together. You can use the link in this video or just below this video to sign up for the 14-day Slay Bells Challenge and join us in Rock Your Life. Have a jump start on the new year with access to over 70 different challenge programs that will help you get through the new year and really rock your body, rock your life. It's all there for you with healthy recipes, guidance for you in different life stages that we go through as women, and so much great support from myself and the Team Betty Rocker coaches. We've got your back. Just use the link and I will see you there. Till then, Rockstar, I'm Betty Rocker. You are so awesome, blossom, and amazing. Bye for now.